Questions and comments? The member from, I hope I got this right, Elgin, Middlesex, London.
You have it right. I'd like to thank the member from Nipissing for sharing his time with me today. I'd also like to take this opportunity and thank the constituents of Elgin, Middlesex, London for putting their trust in me to be their voice here in the Hallows of Queen's Park. Mr. Deputy Speaker, you may not know, but the Speaker and I share the same predecessor, the Honourable Steve Peters. After many years of public service at the municipal and provincial levels of government, Steve is now embarking on a new chapter of life, and on behalf of the constituents of Elgin, Middlesex, London, I wish him well.
Well done.
My inaugural speech will address the speech from the throne. At the turn of the last century, my grandfather, Charles Yurek, a young man in his mid-teens, left Poland for Canada alone, in search of a better life and opportunity. He was a hard worker traveling in the country, working physically demanding jobs and working with the railroad. By luck of an introduction of friends, he met my grandmother, also from Poland, Josephine Bush. They settled in the railway capital of Canada, St. Thomas. They struggled raising 3 boys during the Depression. They had their problems, yet my grandfather's resolve was unbreakable as he labored to put food on his family's table and ensure not only a better life for himself, but for the boys he and Josephine were raising. Charles and Josephine Yurek instilled not only a solid work ethic in their sons, but a sense of community and understanding of the importance of giving back. My grandfather built bikes for the neighborhood children, while my grandmother served to aid new immigrants seeking to settle in St. Thomas. During these difficult years, their door was always open to neighbors in need. Not one was ever turned away when they needed something to eat. Such compassion and hard work rubbed off on my father, Ed, who in 1963 opened Yurek Pharmacy. He took a chance. He was diligent in his profession and gave superior customer service. His generation was fortunate. Entrepreneurialism could flourish without the worry and threat of government interference and red tape. I am lucky to have a great family and live in the best country in the world. I was born and raised in St. Thomas, and up until October 6th, worked as a pharmacist at Yurek Pharmacy, which I co-own with my brother Pete. I myself come from a large family, 3 older brothers, 2 older sisters, and each have been successful in their respective careers and family life, and I look to them for guidance and support. I am passionate about my profession. I have worked in my family's small, independent pharmacy since I was 6 years old. I began working on Sundays doing odd jobs while my dad looked after the inventory. It has been and will continue to be a part of me. In the past 16 years, my brother and I have created jobs employing up to 60 people and have opened a home health care store in London. I am proud of the accomplishments building on the success of my father. Yurek Pharmacy, an independent pharmacy, celebrates 50 years of business in 2013. I stand before the legislature today as I begin a new chapter in my life. My reasons are simple. I want a better future for my daughter, a future where there is a sound and meaningful education system that provides the tools and content to learn what is needed to grow and compete in the global market. I want her to have a good-paying job and the ability to stay and work in rural Ontario. Sadly, I do not see this happening under the current direction of the province. We need to stop mortgaging our future generations. I believe, like my constituents, we need change, positive change for the benefit of all Ontario families, and that is why I am here today. My parents were very supportive of me being interested in politics, but at the time of going to university, they knew my passion and interest in pharmacy. My mother tactfully educated me on the notion that if I did eventually run for a public office and it did not work out for me, as a pharmacist, I would have something to fall back on. I thank my parents for their insight, and it was the right decision. In fact, I believe being a pharmacist and being an active member of the community has prepared me well for the job at hand. After graduating from the University of Toronto in 1995, I began work at the Yurek Pharmacy. As a pharmacist, I began to meet many people of the community. Became a member of the Knights of Columbus, joined the local Alzheimer's board, which I chaired for 7 years, joined the Rotary Club, because I believed in their motto, service before self. I held many positions in the club, including president and chair of their local music festival. I've also served as chair of the St. Thomas District Chamber of Commerce. It was here my eyes were opened to government policy which has decimated the manufacturing sector and single-handedly paralyzing small business. I do not agree with the government of the last 8 years. I want to see change. I've always believed in the PC Party, and I believe in Tim Hudak. Take a breath. While my riding includes parts of London, it is mainly small-town rural Ontario. There are many positive highlights of my riding. Mackey's in Port Stanley, a family-owned independent business for 100 years, caters to beachgoers and tourists. Families travel to the beach for their famous French fries and orangeade. Summertime was playing soccer and visiting Shaw's Ice Cream as a child to get a milkshake or an Elgin special after a warm day. Today, after coaching my own daughter's soccer team, we still go to Shaw's, an independent, strong family business in Elgin County, for a milkshake. We enjoy visiting Ferguson's farms to buy strawberries in the spring, corn in the summer, and pumpkins in the fall. I would be remiss if I didn't note the apple picking season throughout our county. Many, many apple orchards available, many varieties. Our family has a tradition of preparing dill pickles every July when the cucumbers are ready. Living in rural Ontario allows us to access fresh, locally grown ingredients. We drive to the eastern portion of the riding, past Elmer to the Mennonite community, and get fresh cucumbers out of the field and cut our own dill for the pickling. It is the people and small businesses in our communities that makes living in our riding special. London brings a bit of the big city, if you will, to our area, yet smaller areas like Lambeth keep their small town appeal. Recently, I participated in Harvest Fest, and despite Lambeth being part of London, the fair felt like many of the small town fall fairs that I have seen through Thorndale to Rodney. I've learned a lot about the issues facing the families in my riding and politics, and what must be manured past the last few months. Family plays the most crucial role in ensuring I'm able to do the best job for the constituents of the riding. I've been married to 10 years to my wife Jen, and we have a beautiful daughter, 7-year-old Maggie. And I didn't realize the effects that politics has on a 7-year-old. After the election, her teacher pulled me aside and said she congratulated Maggie on my win. Maggie replied there was only one bad thing about her dad winning the election. I figured there was a problem with her being upset that I'd be away from home quite a bit, but I was wrong. My daughter told her teacher that the worst thing about her dad winning the election was that I would now have to work with Dalton McGuinty. This story shows the support and encouragement that even children provide in political life. Our riding has fallen on tough times with all the job losses. We are one of the hardest hit in the area. People suffer with the stress of job loss and the inability to pay their bills and mortgages, which in turn ripples throughout the local economy. I believe in the local potential for my riding. I know we can be productive and contribute significantly to Ontario's economy, but we need the type of leadership that encourages, not discourages, private investment and job creation. Small businesses will be the job creators and bring our economy back. We need government to lower the regulatory burden so that Ontario's entrepreneurship is able to grow. Small businesses are the ones who sponsor our hockey, our basketball, our soccer, and football teams. They are the first ones to donate door prizes for all our community events. Often, small business owners are looked on for the help the municipalities to find solutions to their problems. I would like to point out that farms are also the small businesses. We need to make farming sustainable so that the next generation can take over the farm and continue these businesses in our communities. I will be diligent in my work to ensure we have a sustainable healthcare system. I work at it every day. I know the problems and the waste that continues to exist. It must stop. We must have the willingness to change healthcare for the good and for the people. There's too much bureaucracy in the system, and we need to give more money going to the frontline healthcare providers. Healthcare is important to everyone. We need it now that the boomer generation is using the system more, but it needs to be available for future generations as well. Continuing to throw money at problems is not the solution, nor is the scandal which wastes billions of dollars in the system. Education is also important to me. I'm a dad, and I want the best for my daughter. We need to ensure that the resources and technology that students in the urban ridings have is available to those in the rural system, especially the single school communities. We need to take a firm stance on bullying. Technology today allows for bullying to occur 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year. It is time to protect our children and remove the bullies from our schools. Give the teachers and principals the tools they need and ensure that they use them to protect our children. I look forward to working with the members present today to make the riding of Elgin, Middlesex, London a better place to live. Thank you.